Okay, hello everyone, I'm back and now I will be starting the second part of the video, which is how to deal with the various forms of Haku. And yeah, and if you guys have played Haku before, which I suppose most of you guys did, right, you know that Haku has these various forms, and only a maximum of 2 players can be teleported in any time in the arena, so-called, as this last battle arena to fight against Haku. So the first form that we have here is the one that pokes. Now this one, there are 2 ways to dodge. First is you just run away from that line of poke that he does, and the second way, which I will show you soon, will be to wonder bait dodge, as you see here, and you can just prevent him from hitting you. Now this one is easily dealt with melee attacks and shouldn't pose a trouble if you doesn't get hit or doesn't lose your parts, as the poke usually makes you lose your arms or something. Now this one is the Haku that uses Vine, which makes you stick to one spot, and as usual this one is easily dealt with using melee attacks. Now this third one, which is more troublesome, it gives shell drain, but the worst part is that it is not so vulnerable to melee as the previous 2 forms. So ranged attacks actually deals more damage to this Haku, but the troublesome thing is that it gives shell drain, so it makes ranged weapons not as a viable option compared to using melee weapons. So our weapons like combination dagger can do decent damage to this Haku, and yeah, that's pretty much how you deal with that one. Now this Haku uses a sort of barrier system, which a combination dagger doesn't usually work, but normal melee attacks usually does. So the second weapon I'm using is actually a Quill's dagger, which can actually penetrate the barrier and deal damage to this Haku. And if you are using a melee Moe bot, for example like a Sylvia, you can easily hit him without much trouble. Now this one uses Wonder Bits, and he will teleport first, as you can see, and he uses bits such as Breaker Bits and Bazooka or Missile Bits. The Breaker Bits are especially dangerous because it breaks your body parts. This one is one of the most annoying ones, which I also hate. This one turns into many clones, and you have to guess which one is the correct one to actually kill it. Now I got lucky just now and managed to kill it, but if you don't, you just wait for it to change back to its original form before tunneling it again. If you do that on a solo mode, because there's no way to clear all the pillars. Okay, now moving on to this Haku. This Haku actually uses an area flame attack, and it's easily dodged by Wonder Bit dodge, and you can actually use a ranged attack to kill this Haku, as it is more effective, but a Quill's dagger also works, as you can see it's partially ranged as well. This Haku also takes decent damage from melee attacks, which is why melee is the suggested way to go about a Haku run, because most Haku forms are vulnerable to it. Now this Haku spawns traps, which are annoying and very hard to deal with, especially if you get a slow trap. But this Haku, like most of the other ones, are actually really vulnerable to melee, and if you have good handling, can be easily dealt with. And yeah, my handling is not very good, as you can see, so I'm having some trouble. Okay, so we finally brought it down. And moving on to the last Haku before the final form. This Haku is the one that uses a nuke attack, which all the player calls it a nuke, but it's just a large area attack which kills you in one hit. So you can actually touch this by using your water bait, and if you die, you won't get hit by any damage. And this form is actually very vulnerable to melee attacks as well. Okay, so now this brings us to the last form, and usually in this form all players can join the fight, while previously the forms players will be selected, I think it's by random, a maximum of 2 players to fight the Haku. So if you don't have very good Haku weapons, it is suggested that you wait at outpost and only enter the arena at the final form. Now he always starts off with this hook, and you can water bit dodge it off, and after a bit of hit, he will usually move on to this phase where he summons a wind shield for a while, and he will just blow you away. Now that wind shield, it can be, you can either wait for that wind shield to subside when he stops casting it, or if you have a Revenge Crimson Veil tune bot, you can actually charge into that wind shield. But currently my banner doesn't have it, so yeah, I will just wait for it to end. And now he will move on to original attacks until about halfway of his HP, and he will teleport to the center of the arena where he uses a nuke attack. So after this, you can proceed on hitting him, as he will use his original attacks. When his HP it gets really low, he will go back to using his wind shield, but this wind shield carries out with more wind attacks, and he will throw off a nuke later. So as you can see, I'm actually using Quill Dagger to hit the wind shield, and yeah, that was the nuclear attack that he used earlier. And yeah, so that concludes all for the Haku run, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. And this concludes the second part of the video that I talked about the Haku run, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it and provide me feedbacks with how my video is, and maybe suggest to me what kind of video you guys like to see about Cosmic Break, and maybe stuff like Arena, or well, I don't know if you guys want to see me play Arena or not, but anything, maybe Basilius or Fractulus, I can try doing them as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.